Welcome back to Tink's Garage, and I'm not normally that patriotic, but seemed fitting really, because this is all about my trusty Triumph. Yes, after more than a decade, I've decided to sell the Triumph, the Speed Triple. We're going to be looking at why I bought it in the first place, what was it like to ride, what was it like to own, and I guess ultimately why I'm selling it. There's not many vehicles that I've owned that long, actually. I think the first Ducati 748 that I had in the UK, I think I had that for about the same amount of time. Obviously, two very different bikes. And it's kind of relevant because that's when I thought about getting a Triumph Speed Triple. If you've heard this story before, I apologise. Well, actually, I don't. You can just skip it, but you know, it's kind of relevant to the situation. So, before I left the UK, I took my Ducati 748 to get it serviced at the guy that I normally took it to. Lovely bloke, recommended me by Tim Mills, Purple Helmet Motorcycles. Tune into his channel. And I forget what his name was, Dave or Pete, something like that. Anyway, when I got there, outside the shop was a Buell. Well, I don't know what you call them. Anyway, Harley Davidson motor, sports bike type thing, and I got chatting to him about it. I said, moving to the States, was half considering buying something like that. So we got chatting, as you do, and he was telling me about the Buell, and he wasn't a big fan. He said, you know, obviously the motor had been breathed on by Buell, and it was a bit tweaky, a bit peaky. So, yeah, I mean, it still had the Harley grunt, but at the same time, the power came in a bit of a rush up the top end, according to him. If you've had a Buell and you know any different, I'd love to hear from you. So comments down below would be good. Anyway, we moved inside the shop to take care of business, settle up, that kind of stuff, and inside he had a Triumph Speed Triple. This, on the other hand, he said, I took in a part exchange for something he couldn't remember, it doesn't matter, about a year ago. He said, I haven't got rid of it because I just love riding it so much. Well, I'd never considered buying a Triumph ever, honestly, because you know, when I grew up, they were rubbish. Yes, thank you, Angelo. Yeah, I mean, leaky, unreliable, horrible bikes, really. So was born the idea, or at least something nestled in my mind. What better to move to the United States as a Brit and have a Brit bike? So before I moved out here, I started watching eBay and checking, see what kind of prices they were and what kind of availability they were. And of course, America's a lot bigger place in terms of finding one that is close by at all, honestly. And they didn't come up very often, to be honest. It was not looking like it was going to happen. Anyway, it just did so happen that I think less than a month of me arriving here, one became available down in Prescott, just down the road. Much to my wife's disappointment, that would be the ex-wife. I think she hoped my motorcycling days were over. How wrong she was about a lot of things, but we won't go into that. One owner bike, can't remember the mileage when I bought it. The guy was nice enough to deliver it to me, and I instantly took it out for a ride, even though I didn't have a helmet, because you can do that over here. the triple is an interesting motor, I have to say. I'd never had a triple before. 4 pots and 2 pots, basically. And it is somewhat of a blend of the two, to be honest. It's got the kind of low down torque that the Ducati Twin had, and at the same time it's got some of the smoothness of a 4-cylinder, not so lumpy. The Ducati really hated anything under 2000 revs. Maybe mine wasn't tuned properly, I don't know, but that would be both of them. And it would quite happily sit in traffic, tootle along at 30 miles an hour. You could open the taps in any gear, it didn't matter. You know, there was so much kind of power. It would just pull from any kind of rev range. All in all, a joy to ride. Yeah. Really great all-round bike. The motor itself sounded a little bit whiny, I suppose. Is that the right word? So it wasn't long before I invested in some alternative pipes, some mufflers, silencers, whatever you want to call them, and decided to leave the baffles out of them to make it sound even better. I think you'll agree, it does. We like that sound. And you know me, I like to fiddle around with things, so I bought some custom levers, some custom mirrors, and put some clips on. Yeah, drop handlebars, because I just prefer that riding position, honestly. I think I'm just used to it, and that's all there is to it. But my preference, it wasn't particularly easy to find ones that fitted actually, but I did eventually, because those forks are really big at the top. So limited choice, and when I first fitted them, the throttle cable was a little bit sticky. I had cruise control effectively, where you open the throttle up to wherever you wanted it, and it would stay there. Anyway, that kind of resolved itself over the years. So yes, I've enjoyed the bike over the last decade or more, and never had any trouble with it whatsoever. The recent non-starting episode was, as I suspected, just a dead battery. It's been sat for over 12 months, if I'm honest. So, yeah, new battery, started up first time. I will miss it, honestly. It's my favourite kind of all-round bike to ride. It's just so easy and powerful and fast and fun as well. Handles well. But the reality is, if I get a chance to go out in anything that doesn't involve taking the boys with me, then it's always going to be the Stratas. So that's why it's sat here for more than a year. Just too much aggravation. Put all the clobber on, take the cover off, get it out, make sure the tyre pressures are okay, etc, etc. Yeah, I'm just getting lazy in my old age. So it is up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, or maybe it's sold by now, I don't know. If you're interested, do drop me a line below. I'm asking $3,999. I don't really know what the going rate is for a 2005 Triumph Speed Triple, but what I do know is it's a thoroughly reliable, fun and enjoyable bike in very good condition. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comments down below, especially if you're interested in buying a bike. Just drop me a line down there, and we'll be in touch. Otherwise, of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.